it's good to do this one more time before the end of the year, so that way we can say we've done it in every month at least.
Yeah.
We're that consistently.
Yeah.
Not the psychological lockjaw that the last few weeks in Wimbledon was.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
if it comes up and I get...
Yeah, but now we're artists again.
Yeah. Yeah, writing on the walls.
Yeah, writing on the walls.
Watching Kate Bush all the time.
Kate Bush, yeah.
I think we were in the last place. I think we talked about it last time. What else were we doing? Artist stuff.
Artist stuff? No, we're just getting back into it. Mm-hmm. Like trying to cut down on the carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Because carbs aren't very arty, are they?
No.
And I'm wearing a hat now as well. That's kind of artistic. I know it's a baseball cap, but it's just...
Everybody does that.
No, I don't know. It's an arty thing.
Okay. Whatever you got to tell yourself. But the thing is like, you know what? Okay, so in 2 hours and 40 minutes, it's going to be a new year. Everything is technically the same. I mean, it's very symbolic and yada yada.
That's pessimistic.
No.
I don't think anyone's made this joke yet that oh wow, we're going to wake up the 1st of January and everything's going to be okay.
I didn't want to say it. No
one said that one yet.
But it is there. You know, things are improving.
Things are definitely improving.
But
it's a drama. It is a drama as well because like with the new mutant whatever thing. Like it's like there's still like I like
which mutant one?
The mutant variant.
There's a few.
Yeah, whichever one you like, whichever one's your favorite. Who are you following? Yeah. Who are you following? South African strain or?
Yeah, who are you rooting for? Yeah. Place your bets. Which one's gonna wipe everybody out?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be every fucking tragedy kind of like a play. It has to have a fucking vicious ending.
Transformers.
I don't know. I've never seen it. No. So
no, I made an association. It wasn't a good one. So.
Oh, wasn't it?
No, it's not worth even exploring.
No,
I interrupted you to say Transformers. You're going to have
to keep on top of that shit because I can't remember what I was saying.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. 2020.
As in, we're not being pessimistic. It's just that you wouldn't want to be getting too optimistic either.
Oh, no.
No, that's not a good idea.
No. I had a lot of optimism at the beginning of this year. Remember we got
optimistic in Australia for fucking... optimistic for a day.
That's the second time I had optimism that I shouldn't have.
That was a really kick in the stones. And then we got back and we got optimistic again in London. And then we got like our heads smashed in.
Well, no, but...
With non-optimism.
I saw the stuff with Corona in London, like the fact we were going back into lockdown. I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, I can do the lockdown. It's just all the other stuff that we were dealing with separately. Well, in addition to the lockdown, that I could have never predicted from Australia. That made Australia, the last several months here in London have made Australia look like the vacation I want. you know, like
I was thinking, like, what if we had just missed our flight now?
I know. Isn't it remarkable? And if we had, well, they're open. They're doing stand-up comedy. They're doing comedy festivals. In fact, the one that I was supposed to do, oh God, I haven't told you this yet. I'm getting emails from them being like, if your registration for the and I'm like looking at it and I'm reading kind of what they're writing about COVID too. And I'm like, the least you could have done is get me off this fucking email list because you know I'm an international artist. Yeah, I'm not there.
That one place that didn't even get affected.
Yeah,
really.
Perth.
Yeah, that place is already all around. Really.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed in their coffee shops for a weekend or something. Mm-hmm. And then since then they're just like they're having a good time.
Yeah, but
we should have missed that flight.
Well, but it's in Sydney now, the virus, and I guess popping back up in Melbourne. So that's what I mean. You never know what's gonna happen. Like at this point, I'm like, I have no fucking idea what's gonna go down. I'm not gonna be surprised by a lot after what we've been through. Like if anything. The amount of bad things that happened in a consolidated period of time in the last few months, in Wimbledon specifically, a place that I will never go again as long as I live if I can help it.
That and what is known for is tennis. Those two things are abominations.
I used to play tennis. Excuse me, tennis is awesome.
No, I associate it with that shitty town now.
Well, no, that's separate.
And I used to associate it with the Williams sisters and about black women power, and now I associate it with that horrible town. Look what 2020 has done to my mind.
Yeah. I associate it with Italy, which makes no sense, like, geographically speaking, but that is what happens to me when I think of Wimbledon. And so anything that happens at this point, not surprised. Like, it's kind of like surprise me. That's the one I want to see. But so I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen this year, but it's a new one at least. So if it's bad, it's just its own chapter of bad. And I guess that's why we all like to say the end of the year, Happy New Year, whatever, like new chapter of bad or good, yet to be determined on the horizon if you don't die in the next few hours.
I don't even give a fuck about lockdowns anymore. Just like I'm just into alcoholism now. Remember we were into yoga, then I
you were in alcoholism in Australia and yoga at the same time. If you recall.
now I'm getting back into yoga. I mean, that was a long pause.
You've done it for 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row, but
That's good,
no. You can see I'm actually levitating around this place.
Yeah.
See how peaceful I am since I've been starting doing it again.
I thought that was the weed.
That's everything, It's everything. I work in combinations. You know what I mean? I got to keep busy. Imagine sitting with your own thoughts without yoga or booze or drugs or anything. Just sitting there.
That was me after we moved out of the Jonases in. You imagine, remember, suicidal. I don't know if you remember that. Because you brought that up to me. You were like, when we moved out of their house, I don't think we've ever really discussed the Jonases on here. And now is not the time, but we will. But because there's a great, it really, beautiful story. Mwah, just full circle for me, personally. And maybe me alone, because I was the one who was living with them while you were going to work in Australia. And when we left that and I didn't have them to focus on anymore, but I didn't have any drugs and I wasn't doing yoga yet and I was alone all day with my thoughts, you'll want to die. That's what I'm telling you. A lot of people have to be like that.
We're up on the 33rd floor, so and you were just really, you could have just, all you have to do is lean the wrong way and you would have flopped over the balcony.
Yeah, accidentally.
That takes a lot of willpower. So 2021 must be brighter.
I mean, it feels brighter. Since we have moved into our own apartment, I don't even want to listen back to those episodes that we recorded because I think I was manic. Yeah, of course. I was manic then, but I only really realized like how absolutely manic I was, especially in our final days in Wimbledon from stress. Because now that I'm not feeling that stressed anymore, and I think back to that, I'm like, how I was like sleeping like an hour a day. Like the amount of things I was switching my focus back and forth from throughout the day at a rapid pace. I mean, the things that had to be taken care of, like all of it was time sensitive. All of it was a fucking nightmare. Plus the little nightmare, sprinkles that would speckle on. Cause like, as we were doing everything, you remember when we ordered that honey? Cause I was ordering honey from Amazon in bulk because it was cheaper than buying the little ones in the store.
Yeah, and it arrived all fucking like frozen.
Well, like the first one, fine. But right when we got to Wimbledon, the second one that we got midway through, frozen or some shit, no idea. So it's
a
like
bad omen, actually, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, because it was just like one of those things where it's like everything's falling apart. And in addition to that, when you're putting honey in your tea or your coffee, the only way you can do it is to take a butter knife and dig and scrape as much as you can out of the bottle and then, just sort of wipe it onto the side of the cup and then kind of pour the hot water over it, hope it melts in, but it doesn't. Yeah, I do that as
well. I do all,
that was the only way to do it. Oh. And that is
I thought I had a technique.
No, that I think I told you the technique because I can't remember what you told me you did, but I was like, no, you got to do it this way. And
I think I was just taking a full little spoon and just like whipping it around. And
but you couldn't get the spoon in there.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I was doing.
Well, I brought it with us. We should probably throw it away, but I hate being wasteful. And it's more than half a bottle, but it's fucking frozen. It's solid honey. There's no way to get more out unless I invent a tool.
Yeah, and that should be a public fucking announcement that sometimes honey goes fucking retarded for no reason. It's happened to me before, and I've never looked into the science behind it, but sometimes honey just goes full on spastic. Yeah. And you can't spread it.
Well, the only way to do it is to invent the thing, the very specific device, tool that, but then it's only for people like in a crisis who really need that, because most people will just throw it the fuck away. But we were like, we can't afford to get more honey, and whatever. It was
we're sent up to the poverty line like everyone else now. So now that's kind of that's how I'm now a working class person, I think.
Now you are.
Yeah, I'm now identifying as a working class person. I don't think I am. I think I'm like middle class or upper middle class. But like I'm gonna.
You're whispering, and now I'm gonna have to edit.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna identify as a working class person. That's why I'm drinking so much.
Yeah, I mean...
And you see me, I was watching sports there the other day. I'm like getting working class.
You do landscaping, so I think that...
Yeah, I'm working class.
You've been...
I'm a working class hero.
Working class, but whatever.
I gotta get that t-shirt, working class hero.
Do what you gotta do to have a better 2021.
Yes. I found a new identity.
Yeah, I think actually I recall when we were moving here, you told me you were now an upper class person. So
that is right. I forgot. I forgot we live in it's Notting Hill. Yeah, I'm upper class. Sorry. Let's go and make fun of homeless people. Let's go and sit down. I'll get my like $9,000 Italian suit and I'll bend down close to her face and go, "Why don't you get a fucking job?" Oh,
now because we watched American Psycho.
Yeah, Patrick Bateman he's kind of my spirit animal for this whole year.
Incorrect.
Why not?
Did you kill anybody?
No, but I just his detachment from emotions is something you could really relate to this year.
Yes and no. There were definitely emotions I had to detach from, but I certainly will say I was emotional the entire time.
Yeah.
So no, I don't relate to Patrick Bateman myself.
No, well, that's my spirit animal. Maybe yours is probably like maybe Jude Law and Closer. We were just watching.
Wait, what? You haven't even seen that movie?
I haven't seen that movie. I haven't seen that movie. I just saw it for a second.
And that's who you think I am. That's my spirit animal. No,
your spirit animal should be we're talking about 90s actors.
I didn't know that, but let's do it. Okay, fine.
So mine is, I forgot mine.
Who?
Who's mine again?
You forgot.
Oh, Patrick Bateman.
Jesus
Patrick Bateman, sorry. So
and that's
Christian
not
Bale.
even the actor.
Christian Bale. Christian Bale in American Psycho.
Okay,
so
fine.
Your spirit animal for 2020 90s movies.
I can't wait to hear this because
I know you're. I think it's Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing.
I was going to say, first of all, you're just going to say something from any movie we recently watched because
I know. I wasn't going to think about it. I was just doing association with my memory, my recent memories.
And one of the last movies we watched was less than 24 hours ago, and it was Dirty Dancing. But I appreciate. I'll take. So wait, you think?
No, it's not because that seems happy because he was doing skills and having a good time.
Okay. Yeah.
That wasn't happening.
When he was also like, "Baby, you showed me that people can be better people." I mean, like he was a bit of a bumpkin, a hot bumpkin who could dance, and but
he was a fucking idiot completely, but he could dance.
Okay, so not my spirit animal. Thank you. Nothing about that.
Well, who do you think your spirit animal in terms of 90s movies and the actor that's in them?
I don't know right now. You just invented this. I haven't had time to think, but. You just saw Dirty Dancing for the first time ever. So it was on TV, which is always fun to watch movies when they're on TV because I just like not sitting there having to decide and do the whole fucking thing. Everybody knows it. Everybody does it. You know, where you're like, I need to watch something worth my fucking time, even though you don't, and it does, and you go through everything. But when it's on TV, especially if you haven't seen it in a while, and it's a fucking classic like Dirty Dancing, it's a celebration. And when you told me that you hadn't seen it, your response to me, and I said this to you at the time, I was like, "Oh, you haven't seen it? We're gonna watch it." And you were like, "No!" Like your response was like you had an idea of what it was, and absolutely not
this
for you.
This sounds like something my mom fucking liked when she was in high school.
Everybody's mom likes this movie. Everybody likes this movie, and so classic. And then you saw the end. And you were like, "Oh, that's where that comes from. No one puts baby in a corner." And I was like, I got to see it for the first time. So really, that was what a.
No, it's a great movie. He could fucking dance.
Yes, he could. Dirty dancing.
He fucks all the old ladies in the Connecticut.
No, he says he doesn't. But anyway,
yeah. I think he was doing it though.
It'd be hard to believe he wasn't. At least one. I mean,
he fucking wears a shirt whenever he wants, and he wears t-shirts. The way I used to wear t-shirts when I was a teenager, and everyone used to call me fucking gay. You know, like fucking.
Not Patrick Swayze.
But like, I'm looking at my whack way of dressing when I was growing up. I was dressing like him, except
well, you did say Ireland's like 20 years behind America.
Yeah,
so that
I had
sense.
all these tight, but I didn't ever see that movie. And
I'm sure people
I'm sure people called me Patrick Swayze, like making fun of me, and I was like, I don't get it. I never got it because I used to wear really tight t-shirts, and I was slim, and I'd have tight jeans on.
Yeah, well, Patrick Swayze, and I got you that leather jacket, and maybe you'll wear it now.
No, he is fucking without Swayze. No way is he Swayze. He's fucking great.
Yeah.
Very talented.
Yeah.
And he died.
He did die. Yeah. I think he got.
What was I thinking? Because remember we watched Ghost after we watched Dirty Dancing.
Yeah,
I like Ghost
because it was a marathon. Because God is real.
And I was thinking, in 2020, because it's 20 years since 1990 when Ghost was made.
Yeah.
If Patrick Swayze's actual ghost now started talking to Whoopi Goldberg in real life, wouldn't that be such a troll?
That would be great. People, I bet some they have their cameras out and ready. They're like, Whoopi, come on, you know, he's
it's
coming.
20 years and he just starts to start, like, you know, winding her up again. That'd be gas. That'd be if Swayze has a fucking
Ghost too.
Yeah, if Swayze has any sort of fucking sense of humor and there is an afterlife, he should definitely destroy Whoopi Goldberg.
And if he could only pick one person to be like, it's got to be Whoopi. It was always going to be Whoopi.
Then after that was Roadhouse.
Yeah, which we both fell asleep to.
Which Roadhouse is fantastic because it's about you hire a bouncer who cleans up your bar, but every night of the week, for some reason, while he's employed there, he does 20 grand worth of damage fighting, and they're like, he's saving you money by cleaning up your business, but also every night there's an insane amount of damage done while he's there, and the boss is still like, you're doing a great job. And I'm like, financially this must be a disaster.
That's funny, because I had never seen Roadhouse either, and you actually seemed to watch more of it than I did, because you were telling me, like,
I was like, this is great.
Yeah, but when the little bits I saw, I was like, this is like Bar Rescue, but like, you know, with fight dancing, you know, with
there's so many knife fights, a knife fight just out of nowhere. They just like one look and they're having a knife fight in the bar, and I was like, this is fantastic.
Roadhouse.
But what was I thinking? I don't know where it was. Where's the base?
Roadhouse?
Yeah, where's
no idea. No idea.
That was like a location for a fucking movie.
Yeah.
So I can like wonder, is there anything about that even, you know? Because then like I want to go to that place, to that bar.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if
I've. Like, you ever watch a movie and go, I want to go to that place where that movie was? Like we live in Notting Hill. Do you think that has anything to do with a fucking movie? It does. It 100% does.
Well, can I be honest? Like for me as a kid, and even when the first letting agent showed me the first apartment I saw here, right? Like the one that we wanted, but then didn't get. Blah blah blah. You know, she was like, you know, like the market. You know, like from the movie, and I had to be like, market? Like, oh, I guess he was in a market. So like, to be honest, and maybe this is very American or whatever of me. I knew loosely Notting Hill was in London, but I thought it might have been a made up place because I didn't know, you know, like, and places definitely sometimes are their own character in movies. Like I took a fucking class in college that's based around that premise. But no, I've never been like, I want to go to that place. I always was just like, oh, that's in this place and whatever. And maybe it's a real place and maybe it's made up and I don't care. But then you like see it if you're walking around New York, like, oh, that's where that was filmed. And that was sort of fun. Like the Ghostbusters firehouse and shit.
Yeah. I want to go to Mexico.
Oh, yeah. You just watched Narcos Mexico. Like,
I want to go to Mexico.
Fucking
I want to be Mexican. I want to be Mexican. I know I was saying I was identifying as, you know, working upper class. Upper class.
Then you changed.
I changed to say I actually wanted a better life. But I want to identify as Mexican. I think I know Spanish again. Just watching that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Champion.
I have no idea what you just said.
Escúchame. ¿Qué quieres?
Wow. And you're going to say all Spanish words like you just said those Spanish words? Yeah. Aggressively sort of yelling?
Well, like, that's in the show it's all yelling. Like, I think that's
because it's about drugs.
Yeah, but that's the only way I can communicate in Spanish is by shouting. I
wouldn't want to live in Mexico based on, if we're doing it based on TV shows, 90 Day Fiance the other way with the gay guys, right? Oh, yeah. Because the guy just moved from Florida to be with his, you know, Armando in Mexico and his daughter forever, but their lack of acceptance for gay culture, I myself, I was like, this has got to be hard, you know, like so surprising.
Yeah, but
like the family and everything.
Yeah. But assimilate, just like go to church and speak in Spanish. Imagine a simple life like that.
So you're saying I should become a gay man and go do that and assimilate? I mean, you know,
just
maybe
assimilate
one
into
day.
a Mexican culture.
You know, 2021's just beginning, so maybe.
Yeah. I haven't done the show in so long.
TV. And do you realize, that's what, I mean, we're talking about TV shows and movies from the fucking 80s.
It's either that or talking about your
90s.
mental problems and your feelings. And there's plenty of podcasts that cover all that.
Yeah, and I'm not in the mood right now. I mean, it's like I always am, but I'm not, and I'm not really right now. I mean, we're really just doing this for posterity. I'm not even in the mood to do this, but... You know, just because we can say we did one every month because we were on a roll, but like
we're on a roll, but why you can't keep on fucking rolling forever, like.
No, the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever the amount. First of all, things were falling apart when we were recording, but whatever amount of time we were not recording, I was hanging on by a thread of reality by a thread mentally, So impossible. I don't even know what we would have said.
No, I was smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Oh my God, I was smoking a pack a day, which is very expensive, which was horrific since we couldn't afford to spend the money, but I was like, I can't afford to not smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, well, we were eating. We were eating like fucking...
I was eating cigarettes.
Like simpletons.
I mean, I ate maybe once a day. I don't even know. I don't know. Like, there'd be time... it was impossible to know if I ate or didn't eat or
anything
what was going on. Anything that can just be
put in the oven and ignored and then just grabbed.
And eaten, like, with your hands and like a fork. Yeah. Or just,
Yeah, I wonder what I felt like I have gout or something.
Now?
No, but then I was I felt like I have so many health problems, I think.
I was sleeping maybe 3 hours a day, at most. There was a night I definitely slept 1 hour, but then was just doing everything I needed to do, but like also just terrified at all times. And
I was having these massive detachments from reality where I was just floating around and I couldn't remember what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that could have happened to me.
Not really, but like I was definitely in a trance a lot of the time going, fucking hell.
But this place that we were living on top of that, like you're going to work, traveling 2 hours to and from work every day. And I'm in this place, this room that we're renting, where the heat was not on, but it was like 33 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like 3 degrees Celsius or lower. And this rash was developing on my hand that is now gone since we moved, and bugs were biting me. In the few hours I did sleep in this bed, I looked for them. I looked for bed bugs. I know what they look like. I'm not from New York, but fucking 15 years in New York, bed bugs, and I could not find evidence of these bugs, but they were biting my toes, up my feet, up my ankles. They'd itch periodically 3 times a day. In our last few nights there,
meth itches.
They were biting my neck. Our last 2 nights there, they bit me on, and I was like, they are moving up my body, but I cannot find them. And the room was dusty, so it's freezing, dusty. I'm being bitten by bugs, and it was the only room we had that we're living in. And while trying to manage the disassembly of every other thing in my personal life and yours. And
yeah, but look, now we got a lot of plants.
I am so relieved. I have a person skin back on now, and it's the plants. Aren't you glad?
How many plants is there?
How many? I haven't even counted. But I've acquired all of the plants. We had some plants in Wimbledon, but I acquired them through. I'm like all about these fucking apps now. First of all, it gives me something to do, which is hunt for things for a good deal on either Facebook Marketplace, where I sold all my stuff that didn't sell at my New York garage sale. I sold everything on Facebook Marketplace. Amazing. And then this app called Nextdoor, which is very neighborhoody, which is fun because we're in a neighborhood for one of the, like a neighborhood, and then the other one's Trash Nothing. So I've furnished this house with decorations primarily for free or no money from strangers, and sold things that I didn't want on there. And now it looks great.
See, that's great.
Thank you. I needed to do that for me.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice hobby. I mean, this place is a jungle. I feel like I'm in like Cambodia, like during like fucking...
I'm going for southwestern jungle.
Southwestern jungle.
Yeah, but it's not done. But I got those like sheepskin rugs.
It's not real sheepskin.
It is real sheepskin.
What about the sheep?
What about the sheep? They're ethically what is it called when they're done?
Ethically sourced.
Yeah, no. I
don't know. Ask the sheep that.
It came from the Nextdoor app. It was like a neighborhood deal. So it's a place on Portobello Road, and they were doing this end of the year sale. And I read about the sheep that I bought the rug from.
Did he commit suicide in honor of you having a rug?
Yes.
No, what's the story? Did they just shear the sheep and then
they shear it and they sew them together and shit from like European sheep and British sheep and whatever. And they have
for some
a
reason,
fucking thing about it.
For some reason, I don't think they skin sheeps anymore for rugs, do they? That was in my head.
I don't think you have to do that.
No, I don't think you have to do it at all. I think you shear them.
Yeah, and I don't know why you're asking me like I'm the one making the rug. Like, yes, I bought the rug, and I'm also not like totally this person, but I do like that kind of story. I am more willing to buy a thing I want from a company that makes me feel like they're doing things the right way, as opposed to one that's just like, fuck it. So, yes, I felt good about the rug that I read about before I bought it. Thank you. And you're going to enjoy it in this apartment.
2020 is about researching products online for quite a while.
And rating them.
Yeah, and then buying them and then sending them back and then buying different ones and then sending them back.
I haven't sent a lot back that I bought this year. I haven't done a lot of buying until we got here. Yeah. And I deserve to buy some things, as I had to sell every other thing in my entire 15 years of life in New York City from here after never seeing it again. So I think I deserve some new things.
It's snowing in Ireland.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it snowing in New York?
It looked like it had snowed. It has definitely snowed this year. But
I could do with a bit of snow just for a change in environment, you know.
I mean, I could do with summer. That's for a change in environment.
It's been a year and a half, 2 years since I've seen a summer. Right?
It has been it really has been a year and a half since you and I have seen the summer. Isn't that the last summer I really saw was the Fringe? That's fucking insane. Can you believe that? I've
been insane since then, I think.
We oh yeah, great. The confidence I have in that set.
I've been out of my mind since then, for sure.
Yeah, well, I might have been a little bit too, you know?
It's not going to be on this year.
I mean, don't speak too soon, but what do you... well, no, I was gonna ask a very... No, I don't even want to ask it. It was a very mom or, you know, aunt and uncle during the holidays. Also, totally irrelevant because of coronavirus.
Wow.
I don't want to say it. It's so...
No,
it was like, what are you looking forward to in 2021? You know, and it's like
the summer.
Literally, I have no idea.
Summer. I don't give a shit even if we're still locked inside. If it's hot outside and it's
that will be nice.
Yeah,
sure. Man. I guess that's the one thing that we can count on. That unless there's some insane shit that happens with global warming and we end up in our fourth winter while here, we do get to see the summer.
Fucking asteroid.
So you're right. Good. Great. I'm glad I did ask the question now. I'm also looking forward to the summer. That will happen no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And if we die, then, you know. I guess, you know, we died how we lived. Cold.
No, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's a good time. Do you think Coors Light's a gay beer?
I'm not going to answer that question. Although I'll always remember, you know, the purple and the Rockies, and that's how you know it's ready.
Why?
Because in America, and the can changes color. The Rockies go purple.
It goes like that here when it's cold enough.
That's what I just fucking said.
Yeah, because you can't drink it if it's not cold.
Yeah.
Because it tastes like nothing. But if it's cold, it tastes like cold. Mm-hmm. And cold's better than nothing.
I guess that's true. Very symbolic. Cold is better than nothing. I just wanted something
that tasted like nothing.
Well, you got it. I guess after such a flavorful year, something that's nothing. Nothing is good.
Nothing's good.
Nothing is good.
You know what? What I was saying, yeah, my spirit animal for the year is like a mixture of like Sylvia Plath and Patrick Bateman.
That's not what you said, but
yeah, but that's it. Like, you know.
Okay, so
that's my favorite mind.
I can kind of
like think of Sylvia Plath's mind and then think of Patrick Bateman's mind. They had chaotic minds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next year, 2021, my spirit animal for the year is going to be like Cosby and Cosby and Robin Williams.
So you're trying to bring back Cosby jokes?
Cosby and Robin Williams, because I want to focus on comedy. See?
Okay. I'm okay.
Ignore the fact that they're tragic characters. I think
that's part of why you chose them.
No, I chose them because they were very focused.
Focused.
I guess I could.
There are other people who are focused.
There are other people that are focused. I could have chosen that didn't have such rocky endings. Let's say, not the softest of landings.
Yeah. Well, we still haven't figured out who apparently my '90s actor spirit animal is. So, in order for me to decide who I am now and who I'm going to be,
it's probably going to be just Julia Roberts and whatever.
The only reason you said that is because they've also had a Julia Roberts marathon. It seems they've switched between the two. I'm here for it. I'm not going to pretend I'm not.
This is a fucking TV podcast, really, isn't it?
Well, now it is, yeah. Remember when this is funny.
Now I look at a book and I start laughing because I think the idea of me reading is so retarded right now.
Well, do you remember what this podcast was originally?
No.
No. You just looked at me in earnest and were like, no.
No, I can't remember what the fuck.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be about traveling and doing comedy.
Oh my
Remember
God,
that?
yeah. No, it's a good.
And doing comedy and, dating, right? Yeah. So it's like, we're dating, but we're traveling, doing comedy, and I'm going to all these new places, and we're going to places you've been, and we're dating and just getting to know each other. And now look at what it's become.
That came off the wheels.
A TV podcast, a movie
TV
podcast.
lockdown, out of your mind.
A married 80-year-old couple with a drug problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, really unexpected, know.
Yeah, well, everyone likes a twist.
Everyone likes a twist. The twist, I'm still kind of getting used to the twist of my life that I live in London now. And that happened without ever seeing New York again.
Yeah, but it's pretty jolly here, isn't it?
Yeah. The tier 4 feels like a day out. I don't know if you noticed that.
No.
But yeah, just very strange because, I said, well, you saw me on the phone. I had a 30-second walkthrough with my old roommate in an apartment that had all of my 15 years worth of shit. It lasted, I was there 4 years, I think, in that specific apartment. I didn't see it once this year, except in January. And less than 24 hours before I flew to Australia, I was there packing the worst shit I could have ever packed in a suitcase in the world. Most of it which I've now donated to charity shops or tried to sell or burnt. And it was crazy to see my empty fucking apartment with my very expensive curtains still hanging up on these curtain rods that I researched specifically for both sets of windows in each space. With one, I just have to do this. I have to do this because I love decorating. It had 2 windows and the rod was long enough to cross both of them with, gray linen curtains, 2 on each side of the window, adhere near the ceiling to give an already high room more height. Beautiful. Mwah. My bedroom, very specific rounded curtain rods around each window with beige blackout curtains hanging on either side so I could make it pitch dark at 2 p.m. in the afternoon when I was hungover. Mwah. Those were still hanging there. That was hard for me to see because I was like, my curtains.
Because that was your work.
And my design and all my shelves I built because I built bookcases down the hall. I built a pegboard in my kitchen so you could hang pots and pans and whatever because it had virtually no cabinet storage when I moved in. So I did that, and then I built essentially an entertainment unit of shelves that the shelves could be moved and readjusted as you wanted because they too were on kind of rails that had the part that held the shelf could be moved up or down the shelf. It was like a workman's rail, for a workshop. But it made the shelves adjustable and customizable. Thank you. I know. That gorgeous.
Very detailed.
Yep. Well, I know you could give a fuck.
Whoa. But I actually went so far away in my brain. I did not know what you were talking about for so long. I know. And then you just talked about... I
saw the life leave your eyes.
I was gone. I was so gone, I flatlined.
But my point
that was so boring.
No, fuck you, but it was gorgeous. And the thing is, I swear to God, I hope my landlord leaves it there because it will make the apartment more rentable for him. I put in ceiling fans and 1940s French chandeliers in the hall, okay? So I improved the apartment because I was going to die in that apartment. So seeing it... emptied of all of my things with the little tidbits of me and my purpose that I had there that was just suddenly is gone out of nowhere this year. I've never seen the apartment again.
Is this what they call interior design?
Yes, correct. And I loved it. And it was hard. It was hard for me to see it. I don't know why. I mean, it was already, all of it was hard. The whole thing was a fucking goddamn nightmare. But, I was I thought I was over this at least a week ago when I hired caring and considerate comedian Rob Stocky to throw out what was left that I couldn't sell before the lease is broken today, actually. And he went over there and donated his time and did that. And I saw bits of it last week, and I thought, okay, I never want to see it again. But I saw it briefly tonight, and whatever, all these stupid feelings about a fucking place and an apartment and stuff. But it's just weird because it wasn't a purposeful choice to leave there and I never got to say goodbye. So it's a crazy thing to look at something like that and be like, I don't live in Harlem anymore. I live in London, a place that I went to for the first time in January for 6 weeks. And now I live in fucking Notting Hill with you. And he's an alcoholic and he beats me.
If you tell them that, I'll beat the shit out of you.
I know. I'm looking for a good time. But,
oh my God.
But, whatever. So it's gone. It's crazy. My landlord, I just also want to say this, because this is really, I'm going to toot my own horn, and then you can say something else. We can move on. But my landlord is a Hasidic Jew, and he has the whole building, and it's very, I'll put it this way. When I sent him a letter, and then I called him on the phone, and I was like, look, here's what's happened. I went to Australia in March for work. I got stuck there for 6 months. I kept a tenant in my bedroom for you the entire time, as well as my roommate living in the second bedroom. We paid you rent on time, which even meant me paying out of pocket because I had to drop the price of the room to rent it after moving the contents of my bedroom into storage. I had to drop the price of the room to rent it. And my roommate gave notice. He gave notice after I sold all my shit, but I didn't mention that. He gave notice, and I won't be able to even get what he's paying in his room. I need to leave, and I'm breaking my lease a year early, and I'm like, this Hasidic Jew is going to roast the shit out of me. He's going to be like, no, I want my money. You owe me a year, whatever. And he was like, okay, if something changes, let me know. Like in 3 weeks, let me know. But okay, but you're welcome back anytime. And it made me fucking cry. It made me cry to hear that, because that means he's like, you were good.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole world fell apart, so
I know, but
I imagine a lot of his tenants
saying I'm
left.
welcome back any time.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
He doesn't have to fucking say that to anybody.
You should have said, what did they say when they break the glass?
Mazel tov.
You should have said Mazel tov.
I should have said Mazel tov.
He would have liked that. He would have loved that. He would have loved that.
Yeah.
Damn it. Sometimes you just think of the perfect thing to say afterwards.
He did. Did I ever tell you when I moved in? Like when I moved in, he was very excited. Like he's always asked me if I know anybody looking. Like he'll be like, "This apartment's open. Go look at it. Let me know if you know somebody who wants to rent it." And I'd go look because I liked seeing the other apartments in the building and seeing if they were better than mine, and they weren't. I had the clawfoot bathtub. Really, is what I'm saying. And also southern facing windows, and there was light in every room. It was a gorgeous apartment. Just fantastic. Anyway, he was like, when I was moving in. He was like, the day I moved in, he was like, I left a treat for you in the refrigerator. And I was like, okay, so I opened the fridge, which I hope to God is fucking clean, but I know it is not. But what can I do? I'm not there. Anyway, I opened the fridge, and it was like a bar of white chocolate. And this is a building in Harlem, in a predominantly black building. So I thought that was interesting. What do you think about that?
I think Jewish people like white chocolate.
Yeah, okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
White chocolate over regular chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate.
A lot of black guys like white chocolate.
Fair enough.
A lot of white guys like black chocolate.
Yeah.
Everyone likes a bit of fucking chocolate.
Yeah,
he likes white chocolate.
White chocolate. I've never been gifted white chocolate.
You know what he doesn't like? Palestinian chocolate.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I just think, I don't know. I just remember being like, what? And Luke moved in with me at the time, my good friend Luke. And I remember I brought it up to him, and he was like, we both were like, that's, white chocolate. Okay. Because, gifting white chocolate never happens. Never happens. Have you received white chocolate as a gift?
No.
Stop thinking of ass and titties.
No,
I'm talking about actual white chocolate.
No.
No, see? I have a point. That's all I'm saying. I have a point.
No one gives me fucking desserts.
You have desserts all the time.
Yeah,
Last night...
I get it myself.
Okay, excuse me.
I'm
last
so
night,
close to getting a gun off the dark web.
Well, I used to have one, and I had... Somebody bought it, thank God, which I know is very open-ended, but I'm not even going to
I'm going to get an AR-15.
We're not doing this. No. I'm not even going to entertain this idea.
That's going to be my new hobby.
Guns.
Drinking, and I'm just loading and unloading my gun in front of the TV.
You moved to the wrong country. We should have gone to America, but...
I just want to have a hobby of staring into space, like on Zoloft or something, and just unloading and unloading a gun in the basement.
First of all, you already do have that vibe. Secondly, I think you meant Xanax. Zoloft, it's just an antidepressant. It doesn't make you feel
I was
like
going for more the sound effect of the word.
Zoloft. Yeah. Xanax has a similar sound effect.
It doesn't sound...
Zoloft, Xanax.
Yeah, but fucking these Instagram
Xanax.
Kids use Xanax. Xanax is cheesy.
Xanax is for anti-anxiety.
I'm actually an artist. I'm dark. I
Zoloft
choose my words.
is what? No, but
painkiller.
But no, it is not a painkiller. I just told you what it is. An antidepressant.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
it is an antidepressant.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, but that's more symbolic of the situation of loading and unloading your gun.
but you can't be on Zoloft. You can be kind. It's
yeah,
not like
yeah, I get you. I get you.
And just be like, I'm on Zoloft now. Yeah. Which, by the way, I've got a great story about Zoloft if you want to hear it.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so one of the few, my mom went out of town so irregularly when I was a teenager that whenever she did, it was like the first time she ever did was the first time I got drunk. As like a 13 or 14-year-old, right? I was a freshman in high school. The second time she did, it was for one night. I had, obviously a bunch of friends over. It wasn't a party. A couple of different groups of friends sort of met. I had, I don't want to say everybody's name. Well, no, I can do it. Well, fuck it, who cares? Just a couple of groups of friends. My friend Daddy Still Parties, of course. So my friend Sean had acquired beer, which he got somebody, hey, mister, somebody to get himself. And, he shared a couple, but he was like, these are my beers. And, of course, when my friend Daddy Still Parties, the Skullet guy, I've talked about him before, when he was leaving my house, he made Matthew, my friend who had a Vista Cruiser, drive back because he was like, oh, I forgot something. But he literally came back to steal Sean's beers. And that's the kind of person that motherfucker is. So, anyway, my drug of choice at the time was Sonata, which is basically, I describe as Ambien's older sister. Because, do you know Ambien?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made Roseanne racist and whatever. Yeah. But yeah, sleeping. So Sonata it does the same thing as Ambien. You kind of trip out, you feel great, whatever. But it comes in time release, so you could snort it without crushing it up and shit. And it felt good going up. So that was my thing. So I had a bunch of Sonatas, and I liked my mom. I was prescribed them, but when she'd give them to me at night, I'd cheek them, save them, and then do a whole bunch at a time. It was great.
This is such an American story.
Yeah, well, the reason I even found out about Sonata was because I got sent away to that program, and I saw one of my friends from there. I went down to Los Angeles to see her graduate high school. And at the time, because we had known each other from that place, obviously she was like, look, we can't like smoke weed or get drunk because my parents will know, but I've got these Sonata. And so that was the first place I did those. So I literally went home and requested them from my mom, like, Mom, could Sonata for sleeping? Because I did have sleeping problems and I used to be prescribed Ambien. So I got them. It was great. I was like, sick. I have the thing that I want to get fucked up on at my disposal. Literally prescribed it.
When someone asked you about them, do you ever like go when you have them, you're like, it's not a problem?
No.
That would have made it. You would have been so cool.
God damn it. Okay.
Flick down your sunglasses.
Well, so anyway, yeah.
Light a cigarette the wrong way around.
Well, I didn't.
It's not a problem. I'm completely off my face with drugs.
I didn't want to share, but I did share, and I had shared some with Sean, right, who had the beers, and it caught some of the things about it was like. Sometimes you could snort it, whatever, and you would be high, and you'd be doing high things, but you didn't really feel like you were high or think you were high. And Sean, this is what he told me happened later, because we, most of the people went home, but then it was me and Sean and Brendan, and Sean was like passed out in my mom's recliner, probably from snorting sleeping pills and also drinking all his beers. And Brendan and I were watching Walker, Texas Ranger. It's like 3 a.m. That's when it would play. Like passing back and forth a handle of like Jim Beam or some shit. And all of a sudden, Sean, like out of nowhere, just springs up and projectile vomits fucking everywhere. Like out of nowhere, just, and we're like, whoa, because we're like high and whatever. And he was just like, fuck. And he had to clean up all this vomit that was like fucking everywhere. And he told me later that the reason why I think he puked was because he had been looking. I had given him some Sonata, right? But then he was going through my bathroom drawers looking for more because he was like, I wanted more. So I was going to snort more. And then I found these pills in this bottle. So I crushed them up and snorted them because I thought it was like the Sonata. And I was like, yeah, those are time release. You snorted my Zoloft. So he like crushed up an antidepressant and snorted it. And it probably made him fucking sick because no one should ever do that, and that's why I projectile vomited all over my mom's living room.
And did she have a rug?
She did, and it was
ethically sourced.
Don't know about that one, but what I can tell you is she wasn't out of town for just one night, 2 nights, because the next day when they all left, I was really stoned, and then I snorted a bunch of Sonata when nighttime came. And then I got all of her dogs up on the couch and like kind of got them to look at a camera and took all these photos of them that I ended up having blown up and framed that I gave to her for Christmas.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's
and
good.
she still got him in her house.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's a good way to to get the present out of the way.
Yeah, I know. It was like the middle of summer too. I was real early. I was like, oh, this will be perfect in 6 months.
Good timing. What do you think about that on time?
I think it's time to go. Yeah,
it's time to go.
This is it. This is the.
Happy New Year.
Wow! Don't sound so thrilled.
Happy New Year.
I mean, just say the Patreon people.
It's been a while, so
I know. I'm excited to see if you remember.
Kevin is one. Not Tom Ford.
Okay. Tom Ford. Yeah, I'm always the one you're not supposed to say. You do remember. Damo. Okay. Yeah, I'll just feed him to you. Niall.
Niall. Happy New Year, Niall.
Sinead. Adam. There you go. Mm-hmm. Is that it? I think that's it. Is that 5?
That's it.
I can't count anymore. But who needs
They're probably
that?
Gone by now. It's been so long.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know, right?
Easy come, easy go. See you next year.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Cool. Good night.
This